All right, we back. It's another episode with Frankly Football. I'm Brandon.
I'm Chris, man. How you doing, B?
I'm doing all right, man. I can't complain at all.
Good, man.
So we were just having a conversation, man, and it just dawned on me that we should be recording this type of greatness.
Hey, man, it's what most football fans of this football team sit back and ask themselves this anomaly question. What the heck went wrong in 2019? Why did this football team that went 10-6, really 2 scores away from beating the Rams and have an opportunity to play in the NFC Championship game, what happened from 2000, that offseason and all the promise that we were looking at, and going into 2019, what really happened? I think what we're going to break down today and in this kind of series we're doing, and we're going to look at the O-line, because the biggest thing with the O-line most of us are looking at is who's going to replace the freshly departed, but always in our heart, Travis Frederick.
That's right.
And everybody's saying out the gate, it should be Joe Looney, right?
Should it really, though? I mean, Joe just been there a while.
Okay, Joe's been there a while, but because people are saying, well, hey, no one else is taking NFL snaps, and why would you put such and such and such and such in that spot? Would you put Connor McGovern? Would you put Tyler Biadasz? What? So we're going to help, and we hope you, as you take your time out of your day to look at this and view us, and while you're viewing us, make sure you subscribe, make sure you drop comments and ask us questions.
Plug.
Why we plug, you got to plug, man. Say, hey, why would we go with Joe Looney, and why would we not go with Joe Looney?
That's right. That's right.
Okay, so that's what we're going to look at. We're going to probably we're going to look at a couple of games. I think the first game you said we're going to look at the Texans game.
That's right.
We're going to look at the good, the bad, and the indifferent. And I want everyone, as you take the time with us, is get more perspective. Get more perspective of looking at tape. So when you're sitting there at the water cooler with your homeboy, your friend, and you say, hey, this is what we're looking at, why this is how we see it. So let's run this tape.
That's right. And before we go, I do kind of want to say something. The reason that we are picking these games, we picked a lot of games in 2018. The reason that we picked that is because as far as what the common opinion would be by a lot of the pundits from the 3 and 4 letter networks,
right,
this would theoretically be the starting line day one going into camp.
Absolutely.
So that is the reasons that we picked a lot of games in 2018. And we're going to start off with the game against the Houston Texans. We did end up losing that game, but there were a lot of good and bad plays on our offensive line against great name players. You had Jadeveon Clowney, of course, the ever-invincible J.J. Watt, and Whitney Mercilus.
Without question. Yes. So that was the game turned around, and when we look at it, you were looking at them coming in there on that Sunday night, and we were like, hey, this should be a game that you should be able to win. But when we go over these plays that we found and looked at, you're going to see the deficiencies that we caught and saw, and we're going to explain from there. So let's run that tape.
All right, 1 second. Let me pull this up. And this first play that we're going to be showing is in the first quarter, 12 minutes and 4 seconds on the clock. So it's fairly early in the game.
Gotcha.
All right, so give me one moment. And we're going to be looking at coaches' film available to everyone.
Got to have that cartel. Got to have that cartel view.
Of course. Let's make this full screen.
Gotcha.
All right, here we go.
Zeke short run off to the left-hand side, little to no gain.
That's right. Now, here we go. Here's the good view of it. Here's where you can see things actually happen.
Now, as you pause that for me, Brandon, you look at the offensive line right now, you've got from my right to left, you got Tyron Smith, you've got a rookie, Connor Williams. Now, everybody remember this. We're going to say this over and over. A rookie, Connor Williams, Joe Looney, probably the best guard in all of football, Zach Martin, and Lyle Collins. Okay,
and this isn't Lyle Collins of 2019. This is
2019, right?
Where the general consensus was he may not make the team.
Absolutely.
2018 Lyle Collins.
Absolutely.
And like you mentioned, Connor Williams is a rookie. Connor Williams as a rookie was not very good throughout the entire year.
Right. So and then here's another point. As you look at the tight end, who's the tight end right there?
That is Blake Jarwin right there.
Blake Jarwin.
Yeah.
You know, freaky Blakey, right? So this could be right now, you look at it, as we live and breathe, this could be your O-line 2020.
That's
now,
right.
we're going to see we're going to go through this. We're going to show you what they look like in 2018. Run the film on this play.
All right. Oh, man. It's buffering. Technical difficulties. Got to love it.
Okay.
Okay. Let me just do this and scroll down here and here. Full screen it up and right back here. Here we go.
Little to no push, boom. So in that play, what I see, Brandon, is one, Joe with no push.
Absolutely.
Connor with no push. Okay? So if you turn around in the middle of this line, and we'll see as we look at these plays, Joe is not an overpowerful guy.
Absolutely.
Joe is a compilation of like, he's good, but he's not great at anything.
Absolutely.
Good at
Jack
making
of
a
all
play
trades.
call. He's good at doing a snap. He's good at being in the right spot, but he's not great at anything. He's not an overpowerful guy. And Connor Williams, as you can see even with the film froze, dude, man, he is not NFL size ready at that point.
At that point in time. Absolutely.
At that point right time.
And I'm going to let it go again.
Right. Boom. They didn't move 97 out of the hole at all. So Absolutely. If 97 doesn't move out of the hole, then he's just clogging everything up to the point where, hey, the pursuit can get there. And that's what we got a lot of, Joe, last in 2018. We got a lot of point of contact, Zeke being amazing to make plays.
Absolutely. And just like you said, this play is an example of Joe doing the right thing, but his weaknesses as a player are showing. Joe Looney did not get any push off of the line.
And the other part of that you look at, Blake Jarwin pretty much olayed J.J. Watt to the backside. No one let's be totally honest. No one is asking Blake Jarwin to stand up man to man and block J.J. Watt, who is a perennial Pro Bowler, perennial All-Pro, probably a Hall of Famer one day, and block him man to man. But at least put a body on him and slow him down. He was the first person to hit Zeke. Yes. And he was 7 yards away from it.
Absolutely. He read Blake Jarwin, and as soon as Blake came in for the push, JJ hit a swim and was right by him before he
didn't swim him. He didn't have to touch Blake. Run it back. Absolutely. He didn't touch him.
He didn't. They didn't make contact.
They didn't even touch each other. They were playing tag. Yeah. He tapped on the back, say, "Hey, I'll see you later." I'm going over here to get an icy. I'm going over here to get an icy. You want one?
So that is something that we can really see from Joe Looney right there. His distinct lack of power.
Absolutely.
He shows more bad, what's the word I'm looking for? Fundamentals in later plays, but this is a physical deficiency that he has.
Absolutely. There's a part of his physicality does not allow him that when he gets hat on hat, man on man, that I'm going to push this man against his will. He turned Absolutely. Around in that play, and if I'm not mistaken, that's Christian. That's Christian Covington.
Yes.
That's Christian Covington, who you had a whole season and didn't see him do any of that.
Absolutely. So in a debate, here is something that I just thought about. They probably got a good eye at Christian Covington in this game and thought, oh, hey, we can really make use of this guy based on what they saw him do to Joe Looney throughout the entire game.
They brought Covington in. Covington went through the season as being one of the perennial one technique, run stopping type of guys. They figure, hey, if he ate up 2 blocks over here against us when we played him, then that'll give our linebackers the ability to run and do what they wanted to do. He got to Dallas and he was nowhere near that guy.
Absolutely.
He was nowhere near that guy for them. So being that that's the case, that's the issue you had to deal with.
So you really have to ask yourself, because Joe will be the longest tenured guy coming in to camp in the 2020 offseason, which starts in about a week. Do you want a guy who won't be able to get a lot of push right in the middle of your offensive line? Or would you rather trust a guy like Connor McGovern, who now has a year in the offseason. We saw something similar happen to Connor Williams, where, as you just saw, as a rookie, even though he's big right here, he looked small compared to the rest of the linemen because he didn't have his man body yet. He didn't get in the NFL offseason program and get bulked up. Like
Right.
you saw him in pictures in the offseason going before 2019 where he looked so much bigger.
Yes.
You may have a situation where the same thing can happen to Connor McGovern.
Absolutely.
Where he will come into camp looking bulked up, looking chiseled, and be able to come in and potentially wrestle that starting position away from Joe. Hopefully take that starting position away from Joe.
I believe that Conor McGovern walks in day one with an NFL body.
Yes.
I think his injury was highly over exaggerated, but also
of course,
the chances of him playing anywhere was slim to none.
Yeah.
Because if you had Travis Frederick back for a full season, you already had Zach Martin, and you had Connor Williams, where was he going to play at?
Absolutely.
Where was you expecting him to get full-time snaps between those three positions? You weren't expecting that. So I think his injury, he may have had a slight injury, but I also think they took that time to get his body prepared,
absolutely,
knowing what they had to look at. And as they walked the season on, they knew by drafting him that they made it in the back of their mind, had an idea that Travis wasn't going to play.
Yeah.
That Travis was going out the door.
And here's the thing.
I think they saw that. I think they saw that beforehand. They saw they got caught off guard, having to deal with Joe Looney all year, and they saw what they got from Joe. They needed to get a reputable guy in.
Absolutely. And here's the thing. Him being out the entire season gave him more time with the training staff because
absolutely
he was rehabbing instead of being on the practice field taking reps.
Right.
He was rehabbing instead of playing in the games, getting his body beat up.
Right.
Now you have a situation where you hope that Connor Williams is back coming into camp, but if not, you have Connor McGovern right there who's placing guard. So Connor really has a high chance of playing somewhere on this line because
without question.
We don't know what's going to happen at guard. And he's your next choice at guard if Connor Williams isn't able to perform. If he starts off on pup.
Absolutely. So we looked at a lack of power play.
Yep.
Let's go with another play. Look at the second quarter. Let's look at the second quarter, about 4:13 in the second quarter.
All right. Well, what I got next? Let me go to that first. I had 3:42 up. So give me a second.
Okay, go ahead. Get that one. Oh yeah, get that one up.
I'll go to 4:13. It's the play right before it.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to let the play run, and then I want you to go ahead and give the people your analysis based on it, okay?
Got it.
All right. Here we go. Now, you can see in the commercial view that Zeke had to fight for a lot. Here's the cartel view.
Oh,
Here's what you really want to see.
Without question. This was a play where I saw where you once again saw Joe, as we go back further on the season, you see Joe get pushed, and then that's Zeke being amazing. He gets pushed, but Joe holds up just enough that Zeke can get out of the backfield. Connor gets to that second level, shows the potential he has, and then Zeke goes there. You see a lot of times where Zeke is like stumbling to get his feet underneath because someone's touching him here, someone's touching him there, and he's not getting clean running lanes. And I'm not saying he's supposed to have gaping holes, but he's having to stop, stutter, stop, side step here, break back here, and he's never getting an opportunity to get his shoulders totally square and his feet underneath them so he can make a move on anyone.
Absolutely.
Joe's getting pushed back.
And here's the thing. Connor Williams barely was – you could really have called a hold on that play.
Yeah.
Because Connor Williams was all over the guy's neck.
Right.
And that was just a rookie Connor Williams play.
Right.
But then you also saw a situation where we had another insufficiently blocking tight end in
Yes.
Jeff Swain.
Yes. Go. Well, look. Jeff was. This is, as much as I did not like Jason Witten coming back.
Look at that.
I could see why they felt they had to bring somebody back, because at that time, Jarwin nor Swain, and Swain was hurt all year, none of them wanted to put their body on anybody.
Absolutely.
Not at all. When 59 comes down the line, he barely touches him. Like, he walks him over there and say, "Hey, listen, we having tea, we having sandwiches and drinks down here by the running back. Why don't you come down here with me?"
Invited him to a cookout.
Yeah, he invited it to him. He didn't impede him hardly at all. So that there again, you see two things happening there. It's like Zeke being who Zeke is, being the amazing back that he is, it just gives me more respect for him.
Absolutely.
Because for him to turn around that year, lead the league in rushing like he did, with having a scratch and claw for everything, I don't think he's regressing. At first everybody was like, and you were the first to say, well, he didn't really regress. He had 1,300 yards.
Absolutely.
I don't think there's anything about him regressing. I think it's the fact of the matter that the quote unquote top 5 offensive line that a lot of people think that we have, we really don't.
Yeah, I mean, we got to kind of stop that narrative. This line hasn't been
that narrative must
since
end.
2016.
Oh no, that 2016 line is no longer here.
Yeah.
Those guys aren't like that any longer.
Yeah.
So you're looking now.
I don't think that Doug Free and Ron Leary get enough credit for what they were able to do.
No, they don't.
In that time.
They really don't.
You
they
saw
really
that
don't.
While they are still a very good offensive line,
right,
been able to reach that level again. And I think that, as well as nostalgia, is a reason why you have people saying, "Oh, let's go after Ron Leary again." I don't necessarily support it,
right,
but
right.
I can understand why they think that way.
Absolutely.
If that is me, being optimistic in people's hopes, and hoping that they aren't just
right, because everybody back, hey, if they were like that in 2016, absolutely he can be like that in 2021.
Right.
5 years ago, I'm better now than I was 5 years ago.
That's right. That's right.
I mean, that's what we all think.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, time moves on, and you need younger, fresher bodies to play this game. That's what you need.
That's right.
Yep.
All right. Now, next we have the play right after this one.
Yes.
Second quarter, 3 minutes and 42 seconds on the clock.
Right.
And we're gonna go ahead and run this play,
and
then we're gonna talk about it.
Okay.
All right.
Beautiful run by Rod Smith.
Absolutely.
Beautiful run by Rod Smith.
Absolutely.
Now, if you're watching this, you're saying Rod Smith got 5 yards, and that's who Rod Smith is. But if you go back and look at this again from the cartel view, you can see that on that play, Joe Looney's closest he got to anybody doing anything is when he was standing next to Rod Smith.
Absolutely.
He didn't block the linebacker. He didn't block the first linebacker or the second linebacker. He didn't come up and hit 55, and he could have hit 41 and sprung him for an even bigger run.
Absolutely.
Boom. Okay, no, I'm not going to hit. 41 had an opportunity. He came in, saw where the ball was. If Joe blocks him right there, if he blocks him, if bangs
Joe
him.
blocks 41.
Right.
Then this play can go on for much longer.
Oh, it can go for far. It probably goes for 10 yards.
Absolutely. Instead, Joe stutters and goes towards 55.
55. Why go? Here goes your question. In his football IQ, why am I blocking 55 when 41's right there to my left?
Absolutely. And Joe Looney, being the center, has to know the play. So he knows the designed running route that Rod Smith is going to be running.
Absolutely.
Now,
you know where the play is going.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you get everybody working on that play but Joe.
Absolutely. And Joe, this is something that you're going to see regularly. Joe Looney's eyes are where they need to be.
Oh, yeah. He's got his his eyes are terrible.
Yeah.
If you go back and look, and we chart it, as we do more games, you're going to see Joe has a problem looking off to his right-hand side.
Absolutely.
He has a problem. He has one direction he's going. If he's not there, he's not looking backside. He does not turn his head back and forth to see, okay, hey, this is switch, this is change. The mic's here, the mic's changed. Okay, bang, let me hit this guy because I can get to the next level.
That's right.
None of that. He's not doing any of that. And that is a very, very poor job of a center.
Absolutely.
And like we said, everybody said he was so serviceable. I think what ended up happening, because Joe was one fifth of that O-line, and you still had Tyron Smith, and you still had Zach Martin. Even though Lyle struggled a lot that year in 2018, he's still above average. And Zeke is who Zeke is.
Absolutely.
Zeke is who Zeke is. He was able to make things happen in that situation for that season.
And I think that the main reason that people were decently high on Joe Looney is because, like you said, the talent around him overshadowed his deficiencies.
Right.
When you come in against guys who aren't Jadeveon Clowney, J.J. Watt, Whitney Merciless, and you destroy them, that makes you think, okay, this is fine. Everything's fine. But the house around you is on fire.
Oh, yeah, it's burning.
Yeah.
It's burning. And he's walking around with lighter fluid, helping along the way.
Gasoline.
He's skeeting a little lighter fluid on the ground to help him. And that's what we look at.
Absolutely. But I do want people to know that we aren't only addressing the bad plays. The plays that we are addressing right now just so happen to be the bad plays.
Right.
As we go on, not this next one, because we still got to show more pain before you can get a pleasure.
Yeah, you got to go through it.
Yeah, but we are soon going to show some situations where Joe was able to, shine a little bit.
Absolutely.
But before we do that, we got to show something more bad first. We just got to be honest and open with the people. So that was in the second quarter that we just watched.
Right.
The next play is in the third quarter.
Yes.
This is, I believe, Dallas's first drive. 13 minutes and 38 seconds left on the clock.
Yes, sir.
So I got it up, and let's run it, and we're gonna talk about it after that.
Oh, yes, sir.
So as you can see in the red zone, and here's the thing: this was not just Joe.
No.
This is a hodgepodge of everybody. Absolutely.
All right. Now, out the gate is Joe.
Yeah.
It's out the gate. Now, he comes off the snap. 92, who's right there, beats Joe easily.
That's right.
Bad step.
Joe is
92's
out of the
in the backfield.
Joe is out of the picture.
Right. But he's not the first person that hits him.
That's right.
The first person that hits him is the cornerback that's escaping down the line.
Untouched by Jeff Swain.
Untouched at that point.
Absolutely.
No one touches him.
Absolutely. Now, here's the thing. That is kind of what you are going to expect from Blake Jarwin, because Blake Jarwin isn't necessarily known for his blocking. So you can expect a similar result from Blake Jarwin.
Right.
In the upcoming 2020 season, that is.
Absolutely. Back it up, Brandon.
All right. Okay, here we go. And I'm going to run it in slow motion so that we can see everything. Now, you have J.J. Watt, who is totally decimating Jeff Swain.
But in this play, it's once again, Joe gets beat.
Yep.
Connor's terrible, and Lyle's getting beat down the line.
Absolutely.
So it's a myriad of just a poorly blocked play. Look at it. Joe's getting beat. Connor touches no one.
Absolutely.
No one. And then the quarterback's coming down the line.
That's
so
right.
he doesn't touch Jadeveon. He doesn't touch 41. And so there's nowhere for him to go. This play is blown up. Joe doesn't get his guy. Connor doesn't touch anybody. And Jadeveon's just making a great play on Tyron. Gives him a step in, step out. He's coming around. So he's got a beat on him. So it's three guys that Zeke's looking at before he even gets the ball.
Absolutely. And one thing that you have to remember, like we said, this is going to potentially be your starting offensive line in the 2020 season. So even though this was a year where you had guys who hadn't fully developed yet in Connor Williams and Lyle Collins, you have to be aware how they perform.
Absolutely.
Now, granted, we want them to be able to perform better now that we've seen them have a good year. We hope that they can build upon that.
Right.
But you got to be aware of it because these are going to be, as it stands right now, the 5 guys on the field.
Right, especially in this game.
Absolutely. Now, kind of touching on this, I can't remember if we spoke on this in the beginning of the video. I hope that Connor McGovern is going to be the guy who starts in 2020. Because I don't want guys who can just swim past your center. Your center has to be able to snap the ball and get his head up and get his arms up fast enough to not just let a guy tap him on the back and say, "Nice meeting you."
Right. But I don't. That, like I said, we've talked to this. We're going to talk to this until we see it, and I think that's going to be one of the things we really look at deep going into training camp. Is that fight for who's going to be the guy and playing the center? Is it going to be Tyler Biotish, or is it going to be Connor McGovern? Like I said, I still don't believe that Connor Williams is going to start training camp on time.
I hope. I'm going to remain optimistic.
I mean, when you turn around and blow your knee out, when you tear your ACL at week 12, that's a long time. So you're looking at December. He probably had the surgery in December. You're looking at 6-7 months out.
Yeah, because he tore it on Thanksgiving.
Okay, but
late November is when he tore it.
Right, but he didn't get surgery until the first week in December.
That's right.
Remember, so you're looking at December. So you're saying 6 months, and with everything that went with COVID-19 and everything else, not having been able to really be on the training table, not be able to work the rehab he needed. We don't know how he's going to look going into camp. So I'm expecting him maybe if he's ready to go at training camp, but I think he's still going to be working on the chords, working on getting flexibility back, getting ready to go work on that. I don't think he starts out training camp at your starting left guard. I think your starting left guard will be Connor McGovern. So I think it would be an opportunity for Tyler Biotish to outplay Joe Looney.
Yes. But the one thing that I think is the silver lining in this, the front office had enough foresight in foreseeing Travis Frederick's issues, even though he was coming back.
Right.
To draft a guy who could either play center or guard in Connor McGovern.
Yeah. Me and you have, converses. It's going to be something that they need to do every year. You're going to need to throw a offensive lineman inside the draft every year.
Absolutely. And both of your lines have to be incredibly deep.
Absolutely.
Because you have to be able to rotate guys at
Yes. Yeah, and I think with the D line it needs to be deep, so because you got so many plays you're playing. I think your O line needs to be cohesive, where the guy has to have opportunity to learn, get strong enough, and be able to play at the level. Because those guys don't rotate out that much. You don't expect your O line to rotate out that much.
That's right. But
honestly,
if one of them gets hurt,
rotate out at all.
That's right. But if someone gets hurt, or
you want to have a guy
league like Travis Frederick, hope he has a great life.
Yeah,
you have to be able to bring another guy in. You can't have that downtime when it comes to your offensive line. Like for example, a team may be down a quarterback and struggling because they need a quarterback. A team may be struggling because they need a running back or a receiver.
Right.
You can't have that in an O-line or everything falls apart.
Yeah, because you can have Chaz Green.
Yeah.
You can have Chaz Green.
We're not gonna talk about that.
Hey man, it's Sunday. I ain't mean to cuss. I ain't mean to cuss at you, bro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man.
We do not say that name around here.
Spend time with the Lord. Yeah, go and get a little drink. I was wrong. I was wrong for that one, B.
Oh my God, Lord forbid.
Right.
But
so we've looked at a lot of deficiencies. Let's look where they've done well.
Absolutely.
I think
we have actually 3 examples, one of which was called back due to a penalty, but 3 examples where this entire line performs as a well-oiled machine, a cohesive unit.
Yes.
And both of these happen to be later on in the game.
Right.
So let's show this. I'm gonna run it right quick. This is in the third quarter.
Right.
With 57 seconds left.
Boom.
Okay. Bring it up, and here we go. We're gonna run the play, and we're gonna talk about it. Now you can see a lot of pre-snap movement.
Yep, a little bit. Boom.
Yeah. Now you see there the lane that they were were able to open up for Zeke.
And if we don't get the tackle there by the ankles, Zeke's off to the races.
Absolutely.
Zeke's gone.
Absolutely.
If he doesn't not catch Zeke by the ankles, he's gone.
Absolutely. You see in this situation that despite all of the movements by the linebackers as well as the corner movement, Joe Looney was able to get some.
Great seal block. Had the hole open. Connor's opening the hole where he's at. Zeke explodes through and gets a 15-yard gain.
Absolutely. So this is a situation where you see Zach Martin being the best guard in the league.
Yes.
He gets in there and immediately lays hands.
Yep, there we go. Puts hands on him.
That's right.
Puts hands and moves. And
moves on to get the linebacker out of the play.
Yes.
Now, you see another situation where Joe Looney does show a little bit of deficiency with the push because the linebacker was able to disconnect.
Right.
Then get his hands on Zeke's shoestrings.
There you go.
But this is just like we were saying, the talent around him minimized his deficiencies.
Right. Absolutely. It minimized where you could see, hey, we got guys around here who can make plays. I mean, Connor Williams sets, he's pulling there. Joe's stop it.
All right.
That's where Joe's biggest issue is. Yeah. His ability to get to the second level is one of the things that he's deficient in.
Yes.
He's good initially, but that second level
from 55, maybe 2 steps after this.
Yes.
He should have disconnected.
Right. This block is sealed.
55.
That block is sealed. Connor's got his guy under control. Even if he's moving in that way, once he leaves him and moves to 55, that leaves 41 one-on-one with Zeke. Instead of that, 55 makes the tackle.
Absolutely. And we have to remember, Zach Martin eventually
gets to 41. Right.
Night. And this is where you want Joe Looney to be. You want him to be serviceable. Because if I've always said that if you have to have Joe Looney, maximum 3 games, this is where I want him to be.
Oh, yeah, man.
If you can get this guy.
We said 3. And you know what? We said on an earlier video, we said 3. 2.
2? we downgraded like that?
Those 2 games. Then I need whoever played in center to come back. Because watching this game and going back and looking at the film we've watched, Joe is serviceable for 2 games.
Absolutely.
Right. So, boom, if Joe gets him, he's gone.
Absolutely. It's a foot race after that. And I think that as long as you can have a situation where you don't have to lay everything on Joel's shoulders,
right, then
you'll be okay.
Absolutely.
Because in 2018, you had everything on Joe's shoulders.
I think you had a lot of it. You had a lot of it, but you still had Zach Martin there, and that's why I think you can put a more physically capable Tyler Biadasz right there. Zach can make the line calls. I mean, it's not like Tyler hasn't played pro ball. He knows what a mic is. He knows how to recognize a mic. Some of the stuff he will not know, but basic stuff, he won't know everything because, he's a rookie. But I could go with him because I know physically he's got the physical capabilities to do certain things that I know right now Joe can't do.
But do you trust him to be able to, like, for example, come in week 1 and be able to get the push on the Rams' interior line?
Listen, week 1 going against
who you got there. You know who you got in the middle there.
Week 1, my only guy that I have that I know that gives Aaron Donald trouble is the guy that plays right guard. And I know for a fact that Zach Martin gives him. That's two Brahma bulls going right at it.
That's right.
So I know that's gonna be a fight. So I know he's gonna have that. I'm not as afraid of the Rams' interior line that much that I think he's gonna just totally tear the whole game up. But Aaron Donald's gonna be Aaron Donald, and Aaron Donald's gonna make plays.
That's right.
So I still think if I've got Zach Martin there helping with the play calls, I've got a healthy and strong Connor McGovern who's played at a high level. And if I put Tyler Biadasz right there, I think they can help him. I think they can help carry it.
Do you think that Tyler Biadasz comes in day one better than Joe Looney is right now?
Yes.
I think that he's more physically gifted than Joe. He definitely can have better vision than Joe.
Right.
I'm not sure if he's going to get a level of push and really beat down on these guys who have been in the league, these interior defensive linemen who've been in the league for a few years. I'm not sure if his grown man body is in yet. He might have the bulk, the physical girth, but I'm not sure if he got his man body yet.
I don't expect him to. See,
exactly.
That goes to the point that time and it has to be put in. I don't expect him to come in day one and be able to manhandle people because let's be honest, Travis wasn't a manhandling kind of guy.
Absolutely.
Technically, he was amazing.
He was cerebral though.
Right.
That was the thing that made Travis great. He was the smartest offensive lineman in the entire league.
Right. So if I know I've got a guy who's played at that level, who was was the top center in the country last year, I can think he can come in, okay, let me learn this. I'm going to see this. I'm going to work on this and be able to be prepared. And I think if he's prepared, he'll have a fighting chance. Do I expect him to be absolute? Do I expect him to grade out 99 every game? No, but if he grades out 92 to 95, that's still an A.
That's true. That's very true.
So I'm fine with that.
Absolutely. Moving on, though, this is the last play of the third quarter.
Gotcha.
I wanted to include it, even though it was called back, because we aren't looking at the end result here. We're only looking at how the offensive line performed.
Right. Absolutely.
And it's called back for a hold on, I believe, Zach Martin. That is kind of iffy.
I think it was Connor. It was real ticky-tack.
Yeah, it was
real ticky-tack.
You can go either way with this one.
Right.
But here we go. Once again, we're going to run the play, and then we're going to talk about it from there.
Yes, sir.
Great seal by Tyron getting him out the play.
Absolutely.
Okay, now here we go. Here's where you really want to pay attention. These front views that you can get in Gamecast, the cartel view, this is where you get all of the information. And, of course, it conks out on me. I got to do it again. But you see where the offensive line gets everything sealed off perfect. The ref may have saw some things that I don't necessarily agree with on Connor Williams, but here we go. And we're going to run it in slow motion so that we can really see anything.
Yeah, right.
Look at the impact. And
Kyle right there. Yeah, right.
Yeah, it was only really hand placement. 55 was beat. 55 was decimated, had his lunch took.
Yes.
Slammed into a locker. And he of course fall back to cop it out and plead to the ref.
Yeah. I clop out, my hands out here. Oh, he's got me. And that brought attention to it. But outside of that, everybody's on. Boom.
Absolutely. And once again, this is what you could see game one next year. So you want to be looking forward to plays like this where Zeke can have a wide open highway to go 65 miles an hour. If you're in the cars, that's the Autobahn right there.
Yeah, Zeke, and if Zeke's running like that in most games, that's going to make a lot of teams hesitant of what they have to do because now you're in that 7-man box. He's getting 7 to 8, 10 yards a clip, and now you're asking yourself, what do I do? Absolutely. What do I do? Because he's starting to just eat stuff up because that's really it's demoralizing because guess what? You got 7 in the box. He's running free, and now he's starting to do what he does.
Absolutely. And you have to remember that this is Dak Prescott. This isn't rather in this video the Dak Prescott that threw for over 4,900 yards. This isn't the sophomore year Connor Williams who got a grown man body and is laying hands on people, baptizing.
Yes.
This isn't well, this isn't your normal starting center. This is Joe Looney.
Really? Right.
So, and this also isn't Lyle Collins, who grew to become the best right tackle in the league last year.
Yes, group leaps and bounds,
Absolutely.
Pro Bowl level, borderline All Pro. And I think the sky's the limit as he moves up. So that's what I can expect to see. I think when you go with a 7-man box, three wide receivers, and with a better prepared and ready to play Blake Jarwin, because you got to remember that was Blake's second year.
Yeah.
So that was his second year. He went to his third year, and then they turned around and retired. Well, it was his third year, not playing as much, and they go and resign him. So I think we have upgrades on every level. The only question you still have coming in, as we said before, is who you're gonna have starting the center.
Absolutely. And the thing is, these guys that we have talked about getting better, these aren't complementary pieces. These are your instrumental pieces on this offensive line. This is your starting quarterback. Yeah. So these are the guys who you are counting on.
Right.
So you really got to remember where the improvement lies. It's not like, oh, you're saying, oh, well, a backup running back's better. No, these are your offensive linemen, not swing tackles or anything like that. No, these are all starters who have talked about.
These are your all stars that we're looking at.
Absolutely, and they've developed and grown into wonderful players.
Right.
So if we can get something like that the majority of the time every game, along with a quarterback who is a much more decorated passer.
Yes.
And along with much better receivers, because this is when we're still playing receiver by committee.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. That's you got Michael Gallup, Tavon Austin's, and you got a bunch of guys who are not guys you're looking to be in this game, who you were looking to be guys who are going to be there for you.
Absolutely.
Matter of fact, none of them guys going to be. Only guys going to be there this year is going to be Michael Gallup.
Absolutely. The term for him is Jags.
Just a guy. That's what they were. That's just a guy. Just a guy.
Now imagine that same play, but with Amari Cooper, CD Lamb, and Michael Gallup. Are you really gonna get a 7-man box?
You're going to get a 7.
You might get 6.
You may, but you definitely gonna have the safety's gonna be looking elsewhere.
Absolutely.
If you can get hat on hat, get adequate blocking, you can look at Zeke going for 12, 13, 1,400 yard season on maybe 250, 275 on carries.
Oh, I would love it.
Exactly what you
want. I would love that lighter workload because as we've talked about, I'm okay with giving Zeke 250 carries if it means giving Tony more. In that middle of that season where we get to that 12-day stretch where we have to play 3 games.
Absolutely.
I'm all behind that.
No doubt.
I'm okay with giving Zeke 250 if it means giving CD Lamb, 1,000 yards and 65 catches.
That's it.
So I'm all behind that.
Right.
Now, the last play that we have is in the fourth quarter. This is another play where we feel that this is something to look forward to when it comes to the offensive line.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. I'll get it pulled up. And we'll let it run and talk about it.
All right.
Okay. So you already see a 6-man box. And all the time in the world for that.
Yeah, all the time. Yeah, all the time in the world for him to do what he needed to do. Move around, try to go find a guy in the whole 9.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So everybody held up, did their job exceptionally well.
Absolutely.
You got J.J. Watt over here working against Lyle Collins. You got Jadeveon Clowney working against Tyron Smith.
And these aren't just anybody playing on defense. These are all big names. This is why we chose this particular game.
Oh, yeah.
Because this is against top-level talent.
That's true. I mean, and if you saw it, you saw Lyle get caught off balance, but be able to, regather himself and be able to stand there and deal with J.J. Watt. And then it's always great to have, your all-pro right guard come in, hey, give him a little help at the tail end.
You have to. You gotta respect the talent that JJ has.
Oh yeah. Joe holds his own. Joe's looking. Still doesn't look right.
Absolutely.
Still doesn't look right.
But you see where Joe is able to and
Right.
willing to accept the pass off that Connor Williams gives him.
Yes.
Connor Williams passes the guy off to him, and Joe locks him up.
That's right.
He doesn't have to push because he's just waiting for the guy to get past to him.
That's true.
And if you get multiple situations like that, especially when you introduce play action to the equation, I'm okay with Joe being in that situation.
Absolutely.
3 games. You say 2, 3 games.
2. Hey, you my guy. If you say 3, I'm gonna run with 3. But if it's up to me, Joe got 2 games.
Hey.
I'm good.
And I could see this being a situation where the Cowboys are in a lot because there were, I believe this was 11 personnel. You can expect this a lot with your big 3 wide receivers.
You're gonna see that. I mean, I think people gonna be mad if they see 2 tight ends on the field. They're gonna be like, for what? Why? Why is CeeDee Lamb? Why is any one of those wide receivers off the field? That's gonna be the cry all year. They want to run 11 personnel all day and all night.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think that the big situation here, well, the big reason that you would see 12 or, God forbid, 13 is
13? What?
Hold on there.
Wait, you mean 13 personnel? Because I want to see number 13 on the field.
I want to see
13 personnel.
No, 13 personnel. 13 personnel.
Okay. Yeah. Now 13, I want to see Michael Jeezy all day.
Oh,
I don't want to see no 13 personnel.
So here's what we got. The only way that I believe that we would see 12 or 13 personnel is when we're not even having that we're running. When it's like when you're on the 1 yard line, the half-yard line, and you just want to shove it up their mouth.
Shove it down their throat. I got you.
Absolutely.
I got you.
But other than that, I think you're going to see a lot of plays that performed exactly like what we just watched.
Got you.
But it's going to be in a situation where the defense has to be on the back of their feet because they got to respect our weapons.
Absolutely.
In this game, no team in that game, no player in that game had to respect our weapons. Michael Gallup wasn't who he was yet.
Right.
Guys were unknown. I'm not sure, honestly, if any of them are still on this team. No. The only other name was Trayvon Austin. Who
That's it.
By that time, he was,
Yeah, he was Trayvon. He was who he's always been.
Exactly.
He's always been Trayvon.
Exactly.
A guy with huge potential, but you got to find certain spots to put him in.
Absolutely. Now, what I got out of this game, because like I said before many times throughout this video, this is what you could expect to see week 1 in 2020 against the Rams. It's the good and the bad, the smile and the sad.
Right. Stuff that'll make you smile and stuff that'll make you cry.
Absolutely.
Gotcha.
If you have to rely on Joe Looney to get push, or if you have to rely on Joe Looney to use his decision-making skills, then
you're in trouble. You're in a world of hurt. You're in a world of hurt.
Absolutely.
You're in a world of hurt.
Everywhere else, I think is much more dependable now.
Yes.
You saw the plays that Connor Williams made. That was rookie Connor Williams.
Right.
That wasn't man-body Connor Williams. Connor Williams, when we saw in the offseason last year, was getting off of a plane and looked like a brick wall.
Yeah,
that wasn't him.
Gotcha.
That wasn't best right tackle in the league, Lyle Collins. That wasn't him.
Yeah.
So everywhere else around potentially starting Joe Looney has improved.
Absolutely. I think potentially left to right, as we've talked, I still think Tyron is still top five left tackle in the game.
Yep. He's just not Hercules. He's just not Zeus no more. He Hercules.
Right. He's still top left, one of the top 5 left tackles in the game. Wherever I get with whoever I put at left guard, if I go with Connor McGovern, I think he's going to have a body that's going to be able to handle it. He's just not having had the snaps. I think in my center position, if Joe's got to be there, I know what I'm getting with Joe. And I think I believe with Zach Martin, played hurt a lot last year.
Yeah.
But having a whole offseason of being able to get healthy, and Lyle Collins taking the very next step and being all pro. I think he makes all pro.
Of course. It's a foregone conclusion.
Yep. I think he goes all pro this year.
Now, this was just part 1 of a series because we got time.
Yeah, we got. Well, listen. The best thing about it is that we turn around. We end up back in the building. Hopefully, coaches get back in the building this week. So if the coaches get back in the building this week, we got a chance to see more, and we got a chance to get closer to football. But like we said before, we need your comments. We need to see what you're seeing.
Absolutely.
And if you're seeing something that we don't see, man, hey, listen, put it in the comment box. We're looking. We appreciate your time, your effort, and your energy, spending time with me and Brandon, and helping Frankly grow to be who we want to be, who we want to become, and who we want to be later down the road. But we need you as a person taking that time to take a look and see what you see, if you see something different.
That's right, because everybody is a part of this thing.
That's right.
This is a video that just came out from another prominent YouTuber, Vash Lombardi. Shout out to him.
Right.
Salute you.
No doubt.
People, being the public, you guys who are watching this, people are leaving the networks to come and watch the YouTubers because we are the everyday people who aren't paid to just have a specific opinion. We come on here and do this out of love for the game.
Absolutely.
So people are leaving that atmosphere and coming here, and you have all of the resources that we do. So if you see anything at all that you agree with, disagree with, or want to add in addition to, leave it in the comments. We'll touch on it.
Yeah.
And we'll go from there, because we're doing this for y'all. We're doing this for us, but we also doing it for y'all.
Absolutely.
We want y'all to love it.
No doubt.
So like I said, this is part of a series. So we're going to have more film sessions just like this, whether it's about the O-line position or about other positions coming into the 2020 season.
No doubt.
And, it's been great. I love to do this stuff. I'm looking forward to doing more.
No doubt.
So I'm Brandon.
I'm Chris, man.
It's been Frankly Football.
Talk to y'all later.